This is a Swede Speaks.
On January 8th, 2018, 4 days ago, Sebastian Tynkkynen, who is 28 years old and who is a politician for the Finns party. He is former vice chairman of the Finns party. He has been the leader of the youth organization. He got a call from the police concerning things he posted on Facebook 2 years ago. But let's start with last year. He stood trial in January 2017 for hate speech, for something that he wrote on Facebook about Islam. And he was sentenced to a fine of 300 euros. 300 euros is not an amazing amount of money, but it's still money. But that's not the point. The point is he was sentenced for having stated his opinion publicly. And now they are after him again. And what he did, and they have found an old post on social media that they are charging him for. And the post was a picture with, in Finnish, the text was, "Terrorism has no religion." And then there was a picture of a bunch of terrorists, and under the picture he stated also in Finnish, "Unless you count Islam." For this he is now going to trial again. You can think whatever you want about the statement in itself. I think it is basically accurate, but that does not matter. Even if I would not have agreed with the statement, let's say the statement would have been, "Terrorism has no ideology unless you count the conservatism." I would have opposed the statement strongly, but I still would have defended his right to say so, even though I don't agree. But he's going to trial again. They are after him. And I find this extremely disturbing. Tynkkynen is gay. I did not know that until yesterday when I watched his video on YouTube. The video where he told us about how he is getting how he has to stand trial again, or at least he has to go to the police. And he says he hates identity politics. Well, that's good. We agree on that one. But he said it in this context, in the context of what Islam teaches about the treatment of gays. He found it relevant that he as a gay man opposes Islam. Well, I see his point. I could agree with him on that. I'm really worried about this. I mean, the video I made a few days ago, I made it before I knew that they were after him again. And that video was a comment on the law that the Swedish government might propose to Parliament to adopt. And it was about how Jada Fransen stands trial in Belfast for so-called hate speech, for inciting racial hatred. All she did was come with some anti-Islamic remarks. Islam is not a race, period. And Tynkkynen is not your typical racist either. He is a strong defender of the Jewish people against anti-Semitism, which means him and I are we are in the same boat on this one. And before I forget, let me back down history a little here. This channel started because of Sebastian Tynkkynen. Without Sebastian Tynkkynen, I would not have started this channel. At least not when I did it. Maybe I would have done so later, I don't know. But the Sebastian Tynkkynen trial of 2017 made me... That was the one thing that made me make a video on Facebook. That was the first thing I did. And I made a comment on what's happening in Finland. Even Finland. And I always looked up to Finland as a country where people stood up against tyranny. They fought the communists. And they won. Okay, they lost a part of their country, but they were able to stay an independent country. It wasn't easy, but they were able to stay an independent country. So why are they giving in now? Why are they giving in to political correctness? Why do Finland have thought crime laws? Or maybe we should call them speech crime laws, since you're allowed to think whatever you want as long as you're quiet. Why on earth do you do this, Finland? Why do you go after Sebastian Tynkkynen for stating his opinion? He hasn't incited anyone, as far as I know at least, he has never incited anyone to attack any people physically. He's just stating what his opinion on Islam, and his opinion on Islam and my opinion on Islam is basically the same. So this is just really, really bad. And Tynkkynen says in his video that he has to do what Martin Luther did. When Martin Luther stood at the German parliament and he was asked to renounce his interpretation of the Bible and to return to the Roman Catholic Church, he said, "Here I stand, I can do no other." And that's what Sebastian Tynkkynen says in his video too at the end. "Here I stand, I cannot do otherwise." And I mean, I am happy that I'm a Norwegian citizen, that I live in Norway. We have our own opinion corridor here too. If you state opinions like mine, you might lose your job. I know of cases like that. But the police hasn't started targeting people like me actively. In Finland, apparently they do. At least they're going after Sebastian Tynkkynen. And it is at least the third time, if I'm correct, that he is being targeted by the police for speech. Targeting people for speech. Do you hear how crazy this is? I am in favor of Western civilization. Western civilization builds on the Judeo-Christian heritage. Combined, we got Athens, Rome, and Jerusalem. But we need to add one more ingredient to this. And that's freedom of speech. The Anglo-American tradition of liberty. Without freedom of speech, how can we ever move forward as a society? And I mean moving forward in a constructive way, but how will we ever be able to get somewhere unless we are able to freely discuss? How will we be able to survive as a civilization if we can't even discuss which things are threatening us as a civilization? Whether it is political correctness, world communism, Islam or something else. If we're not allowed to state our opinion publicly, how are we going to survive as a civilization? Sebastian Tynkkynen is standing trial for defending Western civilization. That's the way I see it. He also says he's a Christian. I don't know about his personal beliefs, but that's what he said in the trial of 2017. And I support Sebastian Tynkkynen 100%. I cannot do anything else. And really, you should too. We really need to speak up about this. And I mean, that's basically what I have to say right now. I mean, this is really just disturbing. And dear Finland, my grandparents' home country, why did you fight the Soviet Union if you are going to have these kind of laws? What was the point? Why did you fight dictatorship if you're going to impose this kind of soft dictatorship yourselves? I don't get it. So please stop this stupidity, Finland. And Finland, just like Sweden, Norway, the UK and other Western European countries, needs a First Amendment. And a second, by the way, but that's a digression. But really, we need a First Amendment that protects free speech, especially speech that other people do not like, because that's the point of free speech. Calling things hate speech is a rhetorical trick to make people say that sure, we are all in favor of free speech, but we're not in favor of hate speech. Well, hate speech is just a term used to silence people. I should be allowed to say whatever I want as long as I'm not inciting to violence. And so should you. People write stuff in the comments that I really don't like. Sometimes, well, I call them out. But I don't want the law to go after them. I might actually remove a comment or two if I think it's too extreme. But that's because it's my comment field. But the law should not go after them as long as they're not inciting to violence. As long as they're just stating an opinion. And now, as I close for real this time, that's really all I have to say. Thank you very much for your continual and consistent support. Everyone who supports this channel and my work, thank you very much. And if you like what I do, if you think what I do is important, please consider sending me $1 or $2 or 10. That's greatly appreciated. So, until next time, have a nice day and God bless.